Apex, or as it's also called Racing Evoluzione, is a peculiar racing title for the OG Xbox that I don't think many have heard of before. It was developed by Milestone in 2003. At the time, they were responsible for games such as Screamer in 1996, Screamer 2, and Screamer Rally. Apex was supposed to be a direct competition to the Project Gotham Racing series, but as this title is barely known about, I don't think they succeeded in that regard. But nevertheless, this game had some unique ideas at the time that I wanted to talk about. Starting it off, we have the two main modes, which are Dream Mode and Arcade. Arcade is self-explanatory, and it offers quick races where you can use cars you unlock from the career, time attacks, and one-on-one battles. Dream Mode is essentially the career mode of the game, where you start off a new car brand and design your own vehicles to race against actual brands such as Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, Lotus, and etc. And me being Bosnian, there was only one brand I wanted to resurrect back from the dead. After you pick your brand name, you're given the choice of what car to develop, with each having different stats from one another. You sadly can't change the name of the cars, so instead of making a brand new Yugo, I was stuck with the Zastava Swagger Nerve.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Now you are free to essentially race. You have the main cups, which you don't have to win all of them. You just have to get within the championship position the game wants from you. As for the vehicles in the game, they feel a little bit weightless, if that makes sense. The slightest of inputs and the car will do a sharp turn to whatever direction you're pointing at. It's a bit weird to get used to at first, but compared to Sega GT, which had a similar idea of designing your own cars and racing them, it's way better as the cars don't feel like you're driving the Titanic on the road. You race against up to 5 AI drivers, and they're certainly something to say the least. They feel pretty aggressive most of the time, ramming you without any hesitation, and most of the time they forget that they have working brakes and smash into walls or drive themselves off the road. Not the game's strongest suit in my opinion. And these opponents and their cars is what you'll be seeing for quite a while until you start unlocking the sports cars and supercars later on. After each win, you will get comments from your team on your performance and also how the garage is looking.
You're a racing god.
Over time, the garage will get upgraded and more facilities will get introduced, first of which is the R&D shop, where you can design more cars. However, you need to make enough sales to be able to manufacture something new, and to do that, you have to show to the in-game world that your car brand is the best one out there. You will also unlock some challenges through the career mode, which will also help drive your sales numbers upwards. From just doing a normal race, trying to show a Saudi prince why he should invest in your car, and him buying one for each family member of his, someone copying your design and you having to battle against them. Though I'm not sure why they would choose to copy from Zastava of all brands. To even challenges where the police department takes an interest in your brand and wants to buy a boatload of them for their own units. As the garage gets bigger, you will get introduced to new people around, like your receptionist, engineer, and R&D specialist. Your garage will transform from a rundown shack to a multi-million-dollar behemoth over time. As for the places you race on, they do look pretty good environmentally. However, some of the track layouts are a bit questionable, like these ones for example.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
It's a little weird to go from a circuit with barely any turns to one that has constant zigzags everywhere. The other annoyance is that on some of these tracks, because the AI is really aggressive, it will become tougher to overtake them. You'd have to hope for them to pull off something like this instead. Other than that, you race around city tracks, mountain ones, racetracks, and speedways across the US, Europe, and Asia. There isn't much customization in this game. You can't add performance upgrades or change stuff around visually, apart from the colors. The cars that you make have 3 tiers of upgrades that gradually unlock as you progress. The first is the base normal street version. The second one is the evolution version. Finally, the third is the racing variant, going from a plain looking Jaguar concept design to an actual cool cool looking race car over time, and there's a lot of unique chassis you can choose to make. Despite having different stats, most of the cars that I drove that I made felt pretty much the same, just very glued to the road and hard to really spin out unless you have skill issues. There are 4 different car types in the game. The first one you start off with is the roadster cars, then over time you unlock the sports cars, later on supercars, and finally the last class, dream cars. Unlike the first 2 types, supercars only come with an evolution version and a racing version, and the dream cars only come in racing variants. From here onwards, it's essentially just completing any championship that you feel like. That is essentially the game loop on offer here. So let me show off the resurrected Zastava brand that I made.
It's almost 6 o'clock. Time to get down to your local Zastava dealer and ask about test driving the new Zastava. Prices start at 59,000 marks. Have you got the money? I've been doing a lot of thinking about the new Zastava. 59,000. Drive the new Zastava starting at 59,000 marks. A lot of money, but we'll break it down. We're selling the house. I'm gonna buy the new Zastava, and that's that. Now, tea or coffee? Oh, fuck your tea. It's Zastava or bust.
Overall, this game is okay-ish. The concept of driving your own designs is pretty cool, but with the way the AI is and how funky your car handles, it can be a bit of a hit or miss for some people, as seems to be the case with the official reviews, with majority of the major outlets giving this game an average score. Sales-wise, it also didn't do so well either. Before this game was made, Milestone worked with EA on 3 games I mentioned before, the Screamer games and Superbike World Championship, which grew Milestone's reputation and led to a deal with Atari. They were in a bit of trouble financially and approached Milestone with a game idea that eventually became Apex Racing Evoluzione. However, due to poor marketing and releasing it in the same year as Project Gotham Racing, it didn't stand a chance. Because of the low marketing, a lot of key figures in Milestone left the company afterwards. After this game, Milestone would focus on other ideas such as Alfa Romeo Racing Italiano and Corvette Evolution GT during the early 2000s, which I covered both in separate videos if you're interested in them. And that marks the end of this title. What are your thoughts about this game? Did you even know this existed before watching this video? Comment down below your opinions on this, leave a like if you want to see more old titles like these reviewed on the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Where is Zastava?